Hello everyone, Attack Power here with the other Nemesis DLC Division here with 43rd Wessex Infantry. If you guys enjoy this, smash that like button, subscribe for more Steel Division 2 content, and consider checking out that YouTube membership down below. Remember, this is subject to change still. This will be coming out soon though. Very exciting. Thank you to Eugen for giving me this early access. Love it here. All right, so checking out the slot costs here. It looks pretty generous across the board here. The Recon tab is very solid with 6 slots, the top 2 being 3 points, so not exactly cheap, but the Infantry tab, of course, being an Infantry division, is pretty generous, all the way up to 7 slots for only 1 point. We have a 2, 3, and a 4 pointer, probably not using that most of the time. Tank tab, it doesn't look weak at all. It's got 7 slots, which is pretty darn generous, with only the 7th one being 4 points, 3 1-pointers there. The Sport tab, pretty average, 6 slots here, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Once again, a lot of 4 points at the top here. So it looks like you get punished for really stretching these tabs. AT tab, pretty average, 6 slots here, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. The AA tab, potentially some weakness here. At a glance, you can get plenty of AA with 3 slots, so it's not that this is bad. But you don't have a lot of cheap AA. You're paying 2 points right off the bat. It's actually the most expensive second slot on here. The RD tab, I mean, it's pretty aggressively costed. It's not like massive, but in terms of slot cost, it's pretty cheap. Air tab, same thing. I mean, you get a lot of air actually here. 8 tabs, 8 slots here, and 3 of them are 1-pointers. So, I mean, it's a pretty aggressive tab layout here for this division. Let's dive on in to the Recon tab here and build our deck. So we start here with the Hummer LRC for 5 points. Radio, I mean, it's a neat little unit. It also does move 85 kilometers an hour. So in terms of like random 5-point units, like let's consider the fact that a BMW motorcycle on the Axis side, which is total garbage, has no armor, a junky machine gun, costs 5 points. This costs 5 points. It has an AT rifle. Now, not a good AT rifle, but an AT rifle nonetheless. Machine gun, excuse me, armor, radio, comes in 1 vet locked with 8 of them. I mean, this is not actually the worst choice there ever has been. I would actually have this on my list if I have like a random point lying around. I could see this being super annoying to deal with. So yeah, I mean, it's not lighting the world on fire, but for 5 points, you could do a whole lot worse. Then we have the Recce 2-man team. Nothing special here. Does come in, let's see, William. Oh, it does come in with the 2-inch carrier. Definitely makes this something to consider all the time because the 2-inch carrier coming in for free here is extremely useful. Remember, if you can use these short-range mortars well, they are absolutely devastating and can swing any infantry combat. Now, you gotta be on top of your micro, but if you can use them well, they are absolutely busted strong. Then we have the Verkeners here, another Dutch unit. Let's see. Oh, this is just the 2-man Dutch version of this. They do come in with the Lynx. I mean, it's an armored vehicle with a Bren. Bren is a terrible machine gun on a vehicle, but it's more than nothing. The vehicle itself is only 5 points. I mean, if I was going to bring this unit in, I would definitely bring these. But I would 100% prefer the 2-inch carrier over that. You also have the MMG carrier here. The double machine gun. It's not an incredibly strong combo here. It's not like it's a 50 cal or something, but double machine gun vehicles do tend to overperform in these cheap supporting roles, so definitely have to consider that. Yeah, I don't see any reason why you would ever take these guys over the Recces in terms of if you want a 2-man squad with a extra special unit there. Now we have the assault troop here. So we have A phase locked, 642, so a pretty good availability curve there. Does have radio and recon, of course. We have 2 Stens, 5 rifles, a Piat, and a Bren. I mean, truth be told, I am hard-pressed to not take a recon unit that has AT. Why? Because they don't affect the front line, so this can function like a Panzerschreck or Bazooka or Piat unit for only 5 points more than 20. I mean, this unit is very aggressively costed for 20 points. This is extremely good. The unit itself is not like crazy strong, but for 20 points, this is extremely good. So we're definitely taking it. We'll take it with 1 vet here, see what we like. Then continue on with the BSgids. So bullshit. Just kidding. Now, let's see here. Oh, we have all phases available. We do get 2 of these as well. So it's a simple 5-3-4 going on here. The B phase is down by 2s like normal. We see recon, no radio on this one. We have a 9-man team, an MP40, 7 KBWs. I mean, it's just a Kar 98, and an LMG here. MG100, and a Molotov. So this is a very weird unit. Obviously, it's not good at CQC. If it didn't have the Molotov, you would never put this in CQC. So it's important to note that just because the unit has a Molotov doesn't magically make this incredibly good at CQC. It just becomes not the most absolute embarrassing unit. I like the skins on this too. That's cool. I like those. It's Dutch resistance, so that's pretty neat. I think this unit is good. I definitely think you take it. The question is, how much do you lean into it? Because we do have a fair number of slots here. Do we take both cards? I mean, we have a lot of infantry to work with coming up over here, so it's not like we're going to be super short on infantry. It's only 20 points, though. Hard not to. Let's take one for now. Humber here it's not an incredible armored car, but it can certainly get the job done. I think we want it. I think we want some light armor here. 5-3-2, not a very good vet curve. I hate that 5 to 3 drop personally. We'll take that, and then we still have another 2-point slot here. We have scouts, nothing special there, and snipers. We do like snipers. Snipers are fun. We do get 3 availability at 1 vet. Does come in with the different carriers. Interesting. I'm half tempted to bring these guys in with like a 2-inch carrier. I'll be honest with you. Even though the problem is I wouldn't put this unit in a position where a 2-inch carrier would be any good, so I'm gonna have to like move the 2-inch carrier really far away from this unit. At the same time, I'm having a hard time passing up on the value of bringing this in with like a vehicle that actually matters. Do these guys come in with it? No, I didn't. I figured they wouldn't. I'm really struggling. 2-man sniper teams are not anywhere near as good as they used to be. So this unit is not like the auto include it used to be after the sniper nerf. It's okay. I'm never sad taking snipers. I'm not saying that, but over this BSgids thing, which I'm still not convinced is like super good or anything. What's really pushing me to the sniper here is the different transport. So let's go like this in B phase. So I got a bunch of those. Seems weird. This is very flexible. I like this recon tab is very good. You get some very good options here. A little bit more light armor would be nice. You have the Humber for fun up here. I actually don't think this unit is a complete cheese unit. For 5 points, getting radio all over the place and a unit that can randomly pick up a transport kill or something, or just bully some infantry, you can't underestimate the value of that. This is a very high value unit. The Humber, this one, is only 20 points at this point, which is really cheap. I mean, all this stuff is really cost efficient. It's kind of stupid how cost efficient this is actually. Continuing on, though, not to get too held up here. Infantry tab, lots of choices. Hate defense groups, personally. Absolutely do not like these, although there are 9 for 1 vet at 15 points. Hard to argue that the value there, I still don't like them. We do love field engineers, though. Do we have assault engineers is the question. These are the actual expensive ones. I'm talking like the little 15-point ones. It doesn't look like it, actually. Really quick, I need to check. You get no flamer infantry? So those BS units are like your opening flamer units, essentially? Very interesting. Okay, well, that definitely moves things around a little bit. Let's go A phase with these guys. Not the stupid Lloyd carrier. I hate that thing's like the first transport on there. So we will take field engineers. Then let's see. We have the Gamot. Oh, good Lord. Gevetsch. Oh, come on. You gotta be. This is just to torture me. Gamot. That's too much credit to myself. Gamot Gevetsch Skrup. I don't know. Don't even try to help me in the comments. I'll figure it out later. So a 20-point unit here. Actually, not normal availability. We have 8, 16, phase lock to A and B. Interesting. The numbers are normal if you put 1 vet. 612 is basic numbers. We have a 10-man squad here. 3 Sten, 6 rifles, a Piat, and a Bren. I hate it. Now, for 20 points, okay. It's not amazing, though. This loadout is really bad. There's nothing here that's good. You like aren't actually any good at CQC, so you don't really want to use these Stens. Having only 6 rifles and 1 singular Bren is not great. Having the Piat is nice. It's certainly not bad. Let's continue down and see if we want 20-point infantry. I mean, they're 20 points. I'm not going to say this is a bad unit. It certainly is not for its cost. But in terms of like pure quality of unit, no, it's not a very strong unit. We have the multi-rifles here, which is, I mean, if you look at them, it's basically the same, except the Gamot one is just straight up better because it's 10 men. Like, that's it. You get an extra submachine gun. And so, like, if you're going to take the multi-rifles, you absolutely take this Gamot. Let me guess. Yeah, this comes with a half-track. Does this come with a half-track? No. Okay, so that's why you would take the motor rifles. If you want the half track, now this is not a good half track. This is a bad half track. It's only got the Browning, not the 50 cal. So I would say it's not worth getting caught in the trap of bringing this unit because this normal half track's really not good. It doesn't do much. It does very little. Yes, it's annoying. Sure, if you want an annoying half track unit, it's never bad to have a half track around. But the infantry itself is really kind of really not good. I would prefer this over just to have an infantry unit that actually does a little something. I still don't think this unit is very good. Okay, then we have rifles. Rifles are, I mean, they have a high availability. We have to consider their availability here. If I want to spam a lot of crap, I'm getting a lot of crap so far. Nothing's been more than 20 points. Now we have our first leader here, which is a Polish unit. That's interesting. C-phase locked. I mean, I'm not going to take this. I don't need a C-phase leader. This is interesting, though. It does have gammon bombs and stuff. Radio, nice. I mean, you get 9 at double vet. I mean, that's good. I mean, as tempting as a C-phase leader can really be. Skin on them is pretty cool, too. If those, oh, I like that. All right, continue on. Desant Sturmowy here. So we have another Polish unit. Oh, C-phase locked. Come on, bruh. Shock and flame. This is a unit here. It's not incredibly loaded out. The Sten is not a great submachine gun. The Bren is an on-Mac rifle, though, so that obviously makes them better at CQC. Just being a chunky 10-man squad with a flamethrower obviously makes it. I'm going to put it in here because if I want... Oh, I'm stuck in the Bedford? Wow, that sucks. I mean, obviously I want this. If I'm need CQC and C, I want this for sure. Continuing down, we have the Gult Leader here. So this is just a 25-point unit, 4 men. It does have smoke, which is nice. It's got radio. Let's see what our other options are here, because it doesn't have any AT, so that and it's not like cheap. It doesn't have higher availability. It doesn't have higher veterans. There's nothing special about this leader at all. Now we have the Gult Mariners here. Okay, so this looks like it could be a chunky unit here. So we have Fanatical. Love that. A phase lock. So if we're taking an A. We have 6-4 availability. So 4 is pretty rough. So I'm probably going to go 6. 4 Stens, 4 rifles, and 2 Brens. Wow, that's not a very exciting loadout. I mean, it's a hybrid infantry essentially. You can either use it at range or you can use it at close range. Remember, the Bren is an automatic rifle, which means it fires at sub 100 meter range, which means it's helpful in the forest. So this is it like a very mid CQC unit, like extremely mid. Will lose to any real CQC unit, but should beat any rifle squad they meet in the woods. So it's one of those things. I'm going to take it. It's a unique unit. Seems fun. It's not terrible. It definitely will lose to most things at range. Just be prepared for that. But the flexibility is nice. Then we have the rifles leader here. So this has a Piat. Like if I'm gonna take this over this because this one, excuse me, simply because it's a Piat. I prefer my leader have an AT weapon for like emergencies. I don't find the smoke to be very helpful on a leader very often. Smoke is nice. I'm not taking the smoke thing away, but I don't find I use it much personally. Piat's definitely a little more dangerous. Are there any other leaders? There are not. So we are going to just take this in A here. Then we have Rifles Piat. I do like Rifles Piat. This is a solid Commonwealth infantry here. CMPs, so we do get CMPs. These are faster. Just be aware. Bedfords are awful. CMPs are solid. They are good. This is a 10-man squad. This has always been 8 rifles, 2 Brens, and a Piat. I mean, that's great. We get 3 squads, so I'm probably going to go A, B, and C like that. We'll see what unique units are down here. I can certainly bump these out. No problem. All right, now we have some more Polish units, which means they're C-phase locked again. I mean, this unit looks chonky. Spadochroniarze. Oh, geez. Oh, God. Come on. Spadochroniarze. I don't know, something like that. All right, so we're C-phase locked, single vet, or double vet. I mean, this is a good unit. I'm definitely going to bump the Piat unit for this guy. I mean, it's an MG42, a sniper, 5 rifles, 3 Stens, a 10-man. It's got Raider. This is a very good unit. Unfortunately, it's 25 points, which is really good, honestly. Probably should be 30, but it's flocked to C-phase. That makes it way less exciting, unfortunately. And you get 3 of them. Oh my God. What are you just like surviving to C, like begging to survive to C-phase and like calling 100 of these in? Then we also have another Polish unit here that we probably won't get to make use of. Yeah. I mean, it's a Rifles Piat with Raider. That's what this is. Okay. It's actually worse. I would much prefer to have 2 more rifles over 2 Stens I never hope to use. And the Raider trait, while very useful, is not anywhere near... No. I call this unit useless. Assault Engineers. This is a very solid... This is like the currently the good Commonwealth CQC unit. We have 10 rifles, 1 Bren, a flamethrower, a Piat. This unit is not actually incredible at CQC. Be aware, like 10 rifles is not putting out a lot of CQC damage. It's not actually a lot of damage. The flamethrower is the only reason this does anything in the woods at all. Like if you saw just 10 rifles and a Bren, you would never put this unit in the woods. It gets a flamethrower, it becomes far more efficient, and it will beat any rifle squad. But truth be told, most really dedicated CQC units will beat this in the woods. We're obviously going to take it. It's still good compared to all our other options. We're going to take it in B here. So I got 8 of them there. We have 2 B phase cards, we have 2 C phase cards. How many infantry do we actually have here? Only 72, which for me going into the queue feels small. So we are going to bring a second Piat card here in A, I think. Yes, that feels good. That feels good. 78, it's not as much as I usually like to have. That's because of these C phase cards not being very big. But I think it'll be all right. We'll see. We can certainly chunk that up more. It's not actually like a ton of infantry though. Like when you really break it down, the Polish units are unfortunately like not useful. They are good, but they're not very useful because they're C phase locked and super vet locked, so you don't get a ton of them. It kind of sucks. Tank tab, Honey Stewards. I mean, Honey Stewards are great. For 20 freaking points, you're getting a triple MG tank. While it does not have an amazing gun or anything, it's an armored chassis. We all know how good light armor is right now. I definitely want to take some of these at least. 4 seems a little low. I want them to be a little spammy. No vet seems not good. So let's take 6 Honey Stewards there. Then we have a Sherman 3 leader, Sherman 3, and a Firefly here. We get 2 cards of Fireflies. That's really nice. Question is, when do we bring? Do we have 17 power? We do. So, I honestly probably bring the Firefly in B and C like that. Then maybe a double vet Sherman in A. And leader Sherman in B and 1 more in C like that. I might have to cut that back. That is a lot of activation points there, but it gives me plenty of tanks to work with throughout the game. Then support tab, 2-inch mortar. This, like I said, this is great on like a universal carrier, but I'm not going to use up a slot actually taking this separately. But then again, this support tab is awful. This is god awful. We're going to take Vickers because they're Vickers. We're going to take supply, and we'll take a commander. But there is nothing else here worth taking. I'll consider taking a second Vickers. Let's see if we have the room. This is the first thing I'll cut if I run out of space. All right, anti-tank tab. We don't need Piats. All our infantry are walking around Piats, so no need for that. 6-pounders, always solid. Now, we have the Dutch one and the British one. So the question becomes, do we want APCR for 5 points more, or do we not? I mean, the answer is we probably want the APCR for 5 points more. Oh, there's availability too. There is an availability thing here. That's true. Okay. I'll bite. I'll take the availability. I honestly don't use the APCR on these almost ever because it's only 1,000-meter range, which is really bad. And if you need the APCR, a tank really shouldn't be getting that close. Like, the tanks you need this to penetrate are not going to drive up within 1,000-meter range of this thing and not notice it there, most likely. So, if you're playing against someone who knows what they're doing. So, that's what makes the APCR kind of useless. Then 17-pounder, we're definitely going to take one in A because we didn't take any Fireflies there. And I guess we'll go B. We have the Fireflies as well. That's plenty of 17-pounder. I don't think we need any more 6s. If we have 2 points lying around, I'll certainly take another card of 6-pounders and be plenty happy about it. They're not a bad AT gun. They're very solid. They are basically the same as the Pack 38. Actually, they're a little better than Pack 38 in terms of like value because they have higher penetration. All right, anti-air. Limited, but what it is great. You take a Bofors, not in this stupid Lloyd carrier. God, I hate that freaking transport. And another Bofors. There's 6. I mean, you likely can survive on 6. Let's leave it at 6 for now. Artillery. I like the artillery leader. Okay, I see a lot of people who get upset with me too that I take the artillery leader with no tube artillery. Now, there is some tube artillery here. I'm not taking the leader for the artillery. I'm taking it to be a leader on the front lines and do normal leadering things. So that's why I take it, because I prefer the 1-point slot here over like a 3-point slot over in my infantry tab. This arty tab is not good, actually. This is really underwhelming for a Commonwealth Arty tab. We have 81 mil mortars. We have 107s. We have 25 pounders. And then we have a Sexton card. This is shockingly unexciting. I think I take the Sexton and an A because the infinite ammo is nice. And then I'll take a B phase card of a... okay, so it's either... Essentially, do I want ammo or do I not want ammo? I think I do want the ammo, to be honest. I'll just take 6 6-pounders with... Yeah, this is shockingly underwhelming. I have found mortars to be very mid lately. That's why I'm not really prioritizing taking them. They're always good. I just, for some reason, don't like them right now. All right, so the air tab. It's actually not the usual Commonwealth air tab. It looks like mostly an American air tab. Very interesting. So we have the Spitfire recon here, but it has no guns on it. And for 60 points, that is a lot for a recon. So for now, I'm going to pass on it. I'm not saying that's the right choice. If you like air recon, it's certainly fine. Mitchell 2 here. Bomber. Not a great bomb loadout because that's going to spread out a lot. Let's see the availability curve here. 1, 2, 4. Not an amazing availability curve either. Yeah, not a huge fan of this. It is 410 with very good resilience. So the plane itself is good. The loadout is very mid. And the availability is very average. Okay. With the P-51, not a fan of this fighter at all. The loadout is not strong enough, honestly, for its extremely fast speed. And it also has bad resilience. So it oftentimes will overshoot its target, or it will just die to AA really fast. So, meh on this. Then we have a Spitfire with 4 HE rockets. This is actually pretty good. It does double as a relatively good fighter. It's a little slow for the fighter department, to be sure, and it does have bad resilience because that's what Spitfires have. But I do like 4 rockets. 2 is bad, 4 is solid. Then we have an actual Spitfire fighter here. This one, I mean, the loadout is better. If I mean, the damage looks the same. I always think, like, the damage looks similar, but the 20 mil just seems to perform better to me. I just don't feel like the 50 cal puts out the same amount of damage. I mean, the Spitfire does have more damage in total. It's 3.64 or 66 instead of 3.36. So there is definitely a damage difference here. The Browning technically shoots faster. Obviously, the 20 mil fires slower. I really don't know. They're exactly the same speed. But the Spitfire also has very good agility, which does decrease its chances of getting killed really quick. That's the deal breaker for me. Now, at the same time, Spitfire is 15 more points. So that does matter too. Availability is the same. Then we have the P-51 bomber. It's a very nice bomb loadout. 227 kilogram here. 2 of those. 6 Brownings. So the P-51... What? So this P-51 bomber has more Brownings than the P-51 fighter. The irony there is not lost upon me. This is also slower. Still fast. Still very fast, but slower. I would honestly consider taking this as my fighter, but it is extremely expensive at 140 points. I mean, that's painful to lose that. Continuing down with the P-47. Now, this is your now medium resilience fighter. It's got a massive bomb loadout. I mean, this thing drops things as big boomies. 2 454 kilogram bombs. And a 227 kilogram bomb. And 8 Brownings. 8 50 cals. I mean, it's a lot of boom on a single plane. We do know this. P-47s are very strong. Then we have the P-47 with the AT rockets. This is a very good AT rocket plane. One of the stronger ones in the game. Definitely want to consider taking this. I highly doubt we leave this at home. I'd probably take it in B. I mean, maybe even a second card in A, potentially. Let's see what else we hash out here. Because of the limited AA, I'm probably going to take a fighter card. I'm probably just going to take the Spitfires. I am going to give it 1 vet to increase its agility to excellent, which means it's really dodging AA, and it also does have a slight increase in accuracy, which, well, it does somewhat increase its damage. Just be aware it doesn't actually magically turn better. I know, I think so too, but it apparently does not actually do that, no matter how many times I ask. So Spitfires here. I don't love the Mitchell, like I said. Kind of like the Spitfire rocket plane, not going to lie. I'm not a big fan of P-51s myself. I just feel like they're made of paper. They just die really easily once the opponent has some AA. The P-47 is really strong. It just kind of gets brick-walled, though. I mean, eventually... they all do, though, I guess, eventually. It's really, for one, the availability is really low. I mean, I don't know. I'll mix it up. Stick with the Commonwealth. We still have 3 points left to throw around here. But yeah, so that's all of 43rd Wessex Infantry here. Yeah, I'd probably get an AT plane in A like that. Unfortunately, 1 point left over. That burns my soul a little bit, but oh well. This division honestly feels really mid to me. There's nothing here that screams to me like, whoa. I mean, it's going to be strong because Western Allies are really strong right now, and it's got all the strong Western Allied tools for the most part. It does not have a great arty tab. So that's definitely a little abnormal. Now, the Sexton's good. 25 pounders are very solid, but they're not like amazingly good. And having only one card of Sextons does matter. Like, you can't have tons of these running around. Your air tab is not extraordinary. It's not like Typhoons or anything like that. So it's not the strength that a Commonwealth division usually has in the air tab. A tab is solid. There's really nothing wrong here. It's just a little expensive. The AT tab is a Commonwealth AT tab, which is solid again. But there are no mobile AT units. There's no Wolverines. There's no Achilles. There's no anything M10s. There's nothing of that nature here. So it's definitely not like a super strong Commonwealth division AT tab. It's just a very standard one. The support tab is awful. Like, this whole half of the deck, honestly, is very unexciting. The tank tab is good. I mean, it's a good tank tab. It's Shermans, it's Fireflies, and it's Honey Stewards. And we know that combination, you know, throw out the Stewart part, but the Sherman and Firefly combination is really strong. There's just no getting around that. The infantry tab is okay. Like, it's not actually super great. I mean, Commonwealth infantry are finally in a spot where they're solid, not amazing. These Polish units are really strong, but again, you're waiting till C phase for them to come. So it's a long time to survive on very mid units up to then. The recon tab is strong. I will say I like the recon tab a lot. I would even consider maybe what I do is go like that and add another 3 point, maybe another one of these like that. Maybe something like that. I don't know. But yeah, 43rd Wessex. I think the Axis division, the Walter division, that seems a lot more stronger to me. I still think this is a solid B tier division, but I don't think it's doing anything incredibly exciting this time. But if you guys enjoyed that, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and consider checking out that membership. Thanks so much, everybody, and have a fantastic day.